Breaking now from London and New York, two cities, two elections, one message echoing across oceans. Hope one. It's a story that started under the heavy lights of the Rio de Janeiro climate summit. Humid air, restless crowd, and Sadiq Khan standing before hundreds of mayors from every corner of the planet. Hope is not gone, he said. A line that drew silence first, then thunderous applause. Hours later, halfway across the world, another headline exploded. Zohran Mamdani, the first Muslim mayor of New York City, victorious. And at that exact moment, London's own Muslim mayor, Sadiq Khan, felt something shift, because in that single victory, he saw a mirror, a reflection of what his own journey had stood for: the fight against fear, division, and the manufactured chaos of hate politics. 4 years, London and New York have been painted as liberal disasters by populists, lawless dystopias, they said. Steve Bannon called London a warning. Donald Trump mocked its mayor as terrible. But as Sadiq Khan watched the news from Rio, he smiled. Because yet again, the people had chosen unity over fear. He tweeted just one line: New Yorkers faced a clear choice between hope and fear. And just like we've seen in London, hope won. Those words rippled through social media like a declaration of resilience. It wasn't just a congratulatory message. It was a warning shot to every voice that tried to weaponize difference. Sadiq Khan, the bus driver's son from Tooting, the boy who grew up in a council estate, the man who fought through Islamophobic smears to win London's highest office, had just found an ally on the other side of the Atlantic, and that alliance, though unspoken, carried a deeper message: the rise of a new generation of leaders who wear their heritage not as a burden, but as a badge of possibility. Both men, Khan and Mamdani, have been branded radicals, painted as too soft, too left, too Muslim, too different. But their success has forced the world to confront a question many fear to ask: what if inclusion works? What if the cities they govern, chaotic, diverse, unpredictable, are proof that multiculturalism is not a weakness, but the secret strength of modern democracy? Khan's words from Rio ring louder now. We are united by something far more fundamental: our belief in the power of politics to change people's lives for the better. But make no mistake, this is not just optimism, it's defiance. Because Sadiq Khan has lived through the storm. When he first ran for mayor in 2016, his conservative rival Zach Goldsmith unleashed one of the dirtiest campaigns Britain had ever seen. Leaflets warned Hindu, Sikh, and Tamil families that their jewelry was unsafe under a Khan government. Cabinet ministers whispered about Sharia law, and on the eve of the vote, the Mail on Sunday published an image of a London bus torn apart in the 7/7 terror attacks, implying that a vote for Sadiq Khan was a vote for chaos. But London refused to listen to fear. He won, not once, not twice, 3 times. Each victory a rebuttal to bigotry. Each term proof that identity does not divide when leadership unites. And now, in 2025, as he watches Zohran Mamdani take office in New York, Khan sees the same script replayed, the same lies, the same accusations, the same hate. Andrew Cuomo, once New York's governor, called Mamdani a terror sympathizer. Radio hosts joked about 9/11s. Trump himself posted, "Any Jewish person who votes for Mamdani, a proven Jew hater, is stupid." But again, the people ignored the noise. And again, hope won. From London to New York, the message was unmistakable. The politics of division are cracking. The politics of belonging are rising. Both mayors share more than faith. They share philosophy, rent controls, living wages, affordable transport, compassion for refugees, and a belief that every worker deserves dignity. Their enemies call it socialism. They call it justice. And yet, their challenges differ. Sadiq Khan governs a city bound by Westminster's leash, with no power to raise taxes, forever fighting for autonomy. Mamdani now faces the brutal reality of state politics, negotiating with New York's governor over tax reforms that the wealthy elite will fight tooth and nail. But the symbolism is undeniable. For the first time in history, the two largest English-speaking cities in the world are led by Muslim men who believe that politics can heal rather than divide. For Sadiq Khan, this is personal. Every attack, every insult from Trump, every headline mocking his faith or name, it's all built toward this moment. A moment that proves that representation, when backed by competence, becomes power. Former US diplomat Brett Broom calls Mamdani a leader made for this moment. But his warning is clear: the higher you rise, the more they'll target you. Khan knows that truth well. He's been the target of the far right, and of extremists who claim his moderation makes him a traitor. Yet both camps share one uncomfortable reality: his success exposes their lies, because he's living proof that you can be Muslim and modern, progressive and patriotic, liberal and loyal. As former aide Leah Kreitzman said, the reason Sadiq gets attacked is because his very existence proves both sides of extremism wrong. And that's exactly what terrifies them tonight. As the world watches to mayors from immigrant families rewrite history, one truth stands out: the backlash they face is not just political, it's existential. They threaten the entire narrative that power must look a certain way, speak a certain way, pray a certain way. When Sadiq Khan told The Guardian, "What do populist leaders hate? They hate liberal democracies, progressives, multicultural cities," he wasn't exaggerating. He was describing a movement of resistance built not in parliament halls, but in city streets, where people live side by side, defying the idea that difference is danger. Because in London, difference is London. And under Khan's leadership, it has thrived. Transport systems modernized, housing projects launched, a third mayoral victory secured, not through slogans, but through the daily grind of public service. And yet he remains humble, often returning to the story of his parents, Amanullah and Zohran Khan, who came from Pakistan in 1968, carrying nothing but hope. His father drove the city's buses. Now his son drives the city's future. In New York, Zohran Mamdani's story isn't so different. A Ugandan father, a filmmaker mother, a working-class upbringing turned political crusade. Their journeys cross continents, yet share one heartbeat: belief. As Michelle Lujan Grisham, New Mexico's governor, put it, they offer a positive vision. Voters are tired of anger. They want hope. And perhaps that's the deeper current here: the rebirth of optimism in an era of cynicism. For years, politics has been theatre for outrage. But these two mayors have turned it into proof that change can still come from the ballot, not the barricade. When asked what message he'd send to New York's billionaires worried about Mamdani's taxes, Sadiq Khan smiled and said, "If that's the case, come to London. I'll roll out the red carpet." That single sentence sums him up: confident, playful, strategic. Because while others fan fear, he builds bridges. And tonight, as lights glow over the Thames and celebrations rise over the Hudson, the world sees something extraordinary: two Muslim leaders standing tall in the capitals of the West, not as outsiders, not as symbols, but as proof that democracy, when uncorrupted by hate, still works. Proof that representation, when earned through hard work, can rewrite the story of belonging. Proof that, despite everything, hope is not gone.